Angel Beats, SAO, Demon Slayer, and now Solo Leveling. If there's one artist synonymous with anime music, it's LiSA. She's done songs for 25 different series, and their global success made her the 4th Japanese artist to exceed 1 billion streams. While most people outside of Japan know LiSA for her Anna songs, she's just as recognized within the Japanese rock scene. Each of her albums and nearly all of her 20+ singles have cracked the top 10 on Japanese charts. With other collabs that stretch beyond anime as well, LiSA has become a global pop rock icon. She may seem like an instant success story, but that's far from the truth. So how exactly did this shy girl from the countryside become Japan's biggest anime singer? I'm Goose, and today I'll be going over the rise of LiSA. To fully understand the story of LiSA, we need to go back to 1987, the year that LiSA Oribe was born. She grew up in Seki, Gifu, a small city in central Japan with under 100,000 people. At 3 years old, Oribe began playing piano because of her mother, and this gave her an interest in both music and singing. Pair that with the love for Disney movies, and she would spend a lot of time imitating these songs. Oribe described herself as a stray cat, and she was too shy to sing in nursery school, so her mom put her in local music classes. By elementary school, she had an audition at the Nippon Budokan Arena in Tokyo, a moment that sparked her ambition to become an artist. Watching girl groups like Speed also added to her desire to make a career out of singing and dancing. Soon enough, she also began auditioning for acting schools. Her mom found her a homestay location in 5th grade, and so she went to attend the Okinawa Actors School. But after 3 years, she returned home with ambitions that never came to life. Her childhood seemed pretty happy for the most part, but her father eventually left, leaving Oribe's mom to raise both her and her younger sister. During middle school, Oribe was conflicted about whether she wanted to become an artist. She told herself that this wasn't something she should even think about, so she quit her lessons, but she ended up going back to auditions. Oribe never thought of it as a dream, and while she did love singing, she was more concerned that all of her efforts would go to waste. But she was involved with music for as long as she could remember, and through these auditions, she wasn't chasing a dream or ambition anymore, but looking for a place to sing. While doing karaoke with some seniors who were in a band, they asked her if she could do the vocals for their graduation concert. At the time, Oribe didn't know anything about rock or punk, but when she listened to Avril Lavigne for the first time, she thought this music was pretty cool. While they disbanded after their graduation concert, the feeling of singing on stage stayed with Oribe for the rest of her life. By the time high school came around, Oribe found herself in another band named CHUCKY. They formed in 2005 and were focused on punk and rock. Oribe was in charge of both lyrics and vocals, seeking a balance between intensity and gentleness. She even wrote some lyrics in English. Over the next 3 years, CHUCKY became one of the most important bands in their hometown of Gifu. They made radio appearances, won band battle tournaments, and even opened for some major acts. Their success took them outside the prefecture to Nagoya, Osaka, and even Tokyo. Oribe had a great time with the band, but as high school came to an end, reality set in. Her bandmates were picking career paths, and she was the only one who wanted to keep pursuing music. So CHUCKY disbanded in July of 2008, leaving a 20-year-old Oribe wondering what to do with her life. Music was the one thing that gave her purpose, so like any aspiring artist, she took a leap of faith and moved to Tokyo. Now this decision was opposed by her mother, and they had a huge fight before she left. But LiSA still took all of her part-time work savings and crashed at a friend's place in Tokyo. While she struggled to adapt to the cost of living, she quickly found her place in the local music scene. Alongside the members of an indie band, they formed a new band called Love Is Same All. The acronym of the band's name, LiSA, was then adapted as Oribe's stage name. So LiSA began working 3 part-time jobs to make ends meet and keep the band afloat. She ended up hand-washing her clothes and living in a room with more cardboard boxes and furniture to keep financing her dream. LiSA said that if she didn't debut by the time she turned 23, she'd quit singing. At this point in her life, LiSA had never watched anime, nor was she trying to become an anime singer. She auditioned for a bunch of different roles, only to face constant rejection, but she eventually got her big break. LiSA caught the attention of Jun Maeda, a writer and composer for an upcoming anime series called Angel Beats. It would feature a virtual band named Girls Dead Monster, and she was selected to be one of the 2 vocalists alongside Marina Nakamura. The anime follows a boy named Otonashi, who wakes up in an afterlife and has lost the memories of his past life. Now this afterlife is basically a high school. Otonashi joins this group called the Afterlife Battlefront, and their goal is to kill this mysterious girl known as Angel. They stage various operations against Angel, and one of their tactics involves Girl's Dead Monster. The band will perform and provide a distraction while they try to fight Angel. Girl's Dead Monster is initially led by Iwasawa, but after she moves on from this afterlife, she's replaced by Yue. Similar to how Yue looked up to Iwasawa, LiSA also looked up to Nakamura given she was more experienced at the time. To clarify, LiSA only provided vocals for Yue. She wasn't her voice actor. Some also think that her frequent pink hair is also a nod to the character. The band's music has a lot of variety, and the songs are made to sound as though a teenage girl had written them. On top of Yue's songs, LiSA covered some of Iwasawa's songs, as well as the anime's opening, My Soul, Your Beats. Given that LiSA didn't know much about anime, she had some doubts of how fans would feel about her singing, but these were quickly put aside once Angel Beats started airing in spring of 2010. The virtual band put out 3 singles and an album in 2010, selling over 400,000 combined copies. LiSA and Nakamura even toured live under Girl's Dead Monster until the end of the year. Although the pair returned in 2021 for a new mini album. The songs were initially made for a pachinko machine, but due to fan demand, they were eventually compiled onto a CD. Following the success of Girl's Dead Monster, LiSA made her solo debut under the Sony-owned label Aniplex in April of 2011. This mini album was written entirely by LiSA, and she also composed the opening track. A music video was released for every song in Letters to You, and while they all briefly appeared in a promo video, 5 of them have become lost media over time. LiSA has also written over half of her songs since debuting. Her belief is that to convey what she wants, she should create it. Take the 3rd song. It translates to eternity and is about her dad. One day he told LiSA that he loved her and would be near her forever, but soon after, he walked out of her life. With Angel Beats, LiSA focused on bringing her character to life, but with her solo debut, her only selling point was being herself, so she wanted to be as authentic as she could. Needless to say, many of her fans from Girl's Dead Monster were among her first fans as a soloist. The mini album peaked at number 14 on the Oricon chart, and alongside its release, she did a nationwide tour to sell out crowds. Fast forward to November. Aniplex were deciding who would sing the first opening for the series Fate Zero, and they ended up giving it to LiSA, even though she thought there were people better suited than her. Despite her difficulties with recording, LiSA's debut single was a big hit. Oath Sign took the 5th spot on the Oricon chart, and it was the first of many more LiSA openings to come. 2012 started with the release of LiSA's first full album. Lover's Mal sold over 20,000 copies and appeared on the Oricon chart for 6 weeks. She then made an appearance at that year's Anime Expo in Los Angeles, where she held her first concert in North America. LiSA was becoming a popular figure in the anime community, and so she was chosen to sing the first opening for Sword Art Online. Now this was a big deal with how popular SAO was upon release. Although it was met with mixed feedback from fans, it's currently the 6th most popular anime on my anime list. The story follows Kirito, a gamer who becomes trapped in a virtual reality MMORPG alongside thousands of other players. The premise is that the only way to escape the game is to clear all 100 floors, but if a player dies in game, they die in real life. Its opening paired LiSA alongside composer Sho Watanabe, who she previously worked with on Oath Sign and Lover's Mal. Crossing Field is a great standalone song while also capturing the intensity of the battles and the theme around trust that came with players forming parties with each other. The lyrics seem to be written from the perspective of Asuna, who later becomes Kirito's love interest. The post-chorus, which is actually sung in English, further relates to their relationship. Asuna and Kirito get married in-game, promising that they would find each other in real life once they beat it. As of right now, Crossing Field is estimated to be the 42nd most streamed Japanese song of all time on Spotify, with just over 200 million plays. There is also an English version of the song, which shows just how far LiSA has come with learning English since her pre-debut songs with CHUCKY. 2013 saw LiSA release more singles, go on a national tour, and release her second album. Landspace has variety in both production and vocals. There's less attitude here than Lover's Mal, but the highlight is once again the vocals. It peaked at number 2 on the Oricon chart, and it's by far my favorite LiSA album. By 2014, LiSA had established herself as a prominent figure in both the pop rock and anime communities. Her fanbase was growing both in and outside of Japan, and her live performances were a big reason for this. Ever since she became a singer, LiSA has prioritized learning how to hype up her audiences over improving her singing skills. Her performances aim to be more on the entertaining side, as opposed to being more focused on the music if we compare her to an artist like Aimee. Although this high energy style of performing does come with its disadvantages. LiSA needs a lot of physical strength for a show. She's mentioned starting kickboxing and jogging daily to keep her in shape, and she actually practices less since her debut to preserve her voice. Even if LiSA's music isn't to your taste, I don't think anyone would disagree that she knows how to put on an entertaining show. She has a dynamic and genuine stage presence, especially with how she's adapted to changes in her voice and style over the years. For the entirety of her solo career, LiSA has always used this phrase in the naming convention of her tours. It plays on her stage name and relates to her philosophy behind performing. Now you may be wondering what happened to LiSA's band after her big break with Angel Beats. LiSA felt guilty about leaving them to tour with Girls Dead Monster, but the band fully supported her decision. When she made her solo debut, LiSA would return the favor by having them as her support band for live performances. The band was renamed after LiSA's love of ramen, and they've been her support band ever since. Although they've seen many changes in their name and lineup over the past decade. They've also made some temporary changes for festivals sometimes. Since her solo debut, the majority of LiSA's music has done pretty well on Japanese charts. So at what point did she become big? If we took sales as the sole indicator, then AKB48 were Japan's biggest act in the 2010s, but that wasn't the case. While there are larger venues in Japan, playing at the Budokan Arena is probably the biggest unofficial sign that a Japanese artist has made it big. On January 3rd of 2014, LiSA returned to the same stage where she had auditioned as a child, but this time it was filled with her own fans, or lisakos as she calls them. As she walked on stage in front of 8,000 people, this should have been one of the highest points of her career, but it soon became one of her lowest. Now, LiSA is rarely nervous for concerts, but in the hours leading up to her Budokan show, she felt scared. She'd been feeling unwell weeks leading up to the show, yet she didn't tell anyone. Despite her condition not improving closer to the date, she didn't want to let her fans down. She was also worried about whether her fans would come, as trains had stopped on the day of the concert. LiSA pushed through the concert, but as soon as she finished and stepped away from the cameras, she broke down in tears. However, this performance was a turning point that made LiSA stronger. She ended up writing a song based on her experience, and it became one of her most popular songs. Over the next few years, LiSA released more music and toured both in and outside of Japan. She even made her voice acting debut in the Japanese dub of Minions. Her third album was another success, maintaining her signature mix of melodic pop rock and ballads. It featured No More Time Machine and Shirushi as ending themes for Sword Art Online Season 2, while Shouted Serenade served as the opening for another anime. In 2017, she joined a new label, held her first arena tour, and released her fourth album. The following year saw LiSA top charts for the first time, with 2 best albums. They occupied the top 2 spots on the weekly Oricon chart, which has only been done by 3 female artists before. 2018 also ended with the release of one of my favorite LiSA songs. Adamas was the first opening for the 3rd season of SAO. It's full of energy from the start, and the climax with their vocals alongside a backing choir is just earworms. The title comes from the ancient Greek term for indestructible and is also the origin of the word diamond, which fits well with the lyrics. While LiSA has done 8 songs for Sword Art Online related projects, nowadays she's most recognized for Demon Slayer. In April of 2019, LiSA sang the first opening for the anime's first season. Similar to how Crossing Field drew from the success of SAO, Gurenge was also an instant hit. Just a day after its release on streaming platforms, the song charted onto 38 separate daily single charts and had over 300,000 downloads. Gurenge is an upbeat rock song composed by Kayoko Kusano. In order to write the lyrics, LiSA read the Demon Slayer manga. They're about finding a reason to become stronger, drawing on the courage of its protagonist Tanjiro. The story follows his journey to become a demon slayer and find a cure for his sister Nezuko, who's become a demon. Gurenge translates to red lotus flower. LiSA got this from combining Guren from Guren Jigoku and Renge, which is used interchangeably with water lily in Japanese. The term Guren Jigoku refers to one of the 8 kinds of hell in Buddhism. Those who fall into this hell are said to have their skin torn and bled from the coldness, becoming like a red lotus. LiSA also collaborated with Yuki Kajiura for Demon Slayer's ending theme as well. The anime's success had pushed LiSA's popularity to an unprecedented high, both in and outside of Japan. Before Gurenge was released, LiSA was the 4th most listened to Japanese artist overseas, but she took the #1 spot in 2020. It was the most played song by a Japanese artist overseas that year, and is currently the 3rd most streamed Japanese song on Spotify with over 475 million streams. This led to 2 big accomplishments for LiSA in December of 2019. The first being her performance of Gurenge on The First Take. It's a Japanese YouTube channel that features artists performing songs in a single, unedited take. LiSA was the 5th artist to feature on the channel, which at the time wasn't too popular. She performed a piano rendition of the song, which put the spotlight solely on her vocals, and it's now the 3rd most viewed video on the channel, sitting at over 140 million views. The other milestone LiSA accomplished was making her debut on the 70th edition of Kohaku Utakasen. If you never heard of Kohaku, you need some context. It's a yearly New Year's Eve TV event that features the top Japanese artists. It's a big deal for new artists to be invited, given how many of the participants have been around for decades. LiSA's performance of Gurenge received a lot of buzz online, and it solidified her presence on one of Japan's biggest music stages, and she made sure to carry this momentum into 2020. Demon Slayer returned with its first sequel, and LiSA was brought in again to do its theme song. The Mugen Train movie follows Tanjiro and his friends as they join the Flame Hashira Rengoku to investigate a series of disappearances aboard a train. Without spoiling anything, Homura was written for Rengoku and plays during one of the most important scenes in the movie. It was released alongside LiSA's 5th album, making her the first female artist since 2004 to top both the single and album charts. Homura won Song of the Year and broke records after being streamed over 16 million times in a single week. If you've watched Mugen Train, then you'll know that Zenitsu focuses best when he's asleep. But unlike Zenitsu, most of us can't just fall asleep instantly, and that's where today's sponsor, Manta Sleep, comes in. With their sleep masks, you can get a completely dark sleep anytime, anywhere. Get 10% off any Manta Sleep purchase with code GOOSE. Link will be in the description. 2021 marked the 10th anniversary of LiSA's solo debut. To commemorate this, she released a mini album and held a national tour for the first time in a few years. Although LiSA took a 1-month hiatus in August after suffering from mental and physical fatigue. I won't be discussing the controversy behind her hiatus in this video, but I did a write-up about it in the description. Upon her return, LiSA continued her arena tour and eventually released her 20th single, which was used as the opening and ending themes for the Mugen Train TV adaptation. 2022 began with the announcement of a LiSA Netflix documentary. This is the first Netflix documentary by a Japanese solo female artist, and it's based on LiSA's 10th anniversary project. It's titled after her motto, "Today is another great day." Following the documentary's release in October, LiSA released her 6th and most recent album. Lander is based on the concept of a new planet where LiSA is landing. The first track was produced by Ayase of Yoasobi, and the second was used as the theme song for some Japanese TV broadcast coverage of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Besides the 3 Demon Slayer songs, there were also a number of tracks that were used in other TV shows and anime. It peaked at number 3 on the Oricon chart, meaning that all 6 of LiSA's albums have all reached the 7th spot or higher. Over the next few years, LiSA did some interesting collabs that go outside the scope of her usual anime ones. In 2023, she did the theme song for the Japanese dub of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which was her first song done for a Hollywood film. LiSA then featured on the song Social Path by South Korean boy band Stray Kids. In 2024, she collabed on 2 different projects with Tak Matsumoto. He's one half of Japan's best-selling artist of all time. 2025 has already started strong for LiSA. Alongside Felix from Stray Kids, she did the opening for the 2nd season of Solo Leveling. She's also announced her first North American tour that will take place in June. It'll be LiSA's first solo show in New York and Los Angeles, and her first show in Mexico in 9 years. Since her debut in 2011, LiSA has been one of the most influential figures in both the anisong and pop rock circles. She's matured as an artist in every way while still holding on to the same rockstar spirit she had when starting out. Since her time with Girls Dead Monster, LiSA has always been driven by a desire to give her all for her fans. If there's an opportunity to make people happy, she's ready to pour everything into it. Though a solo artist, she's always made it clear that her success is a collective effort, one that involves her band, management, and fans. While a lot of her fans see her as an end-of-song singer first, Oribe has always mentioned proudly that LiSA is a band first and foremost. As she nears 40, her label may shift their focus towards younger artists, leaving LiSA with more freedom to make whatever music she wants. While her future direction isn't clear, LiSA will still keep giving everything she has towards her music, and that's something that all of her fans will look forward to. And that's all the major things to know about LiSA. This video took a long time to make, so if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more J-pop content. A big thank you to the LiSA Discord for answering my questions. I never realized how big the LiSA community was till I joined the server and subreddit, so definitely check both out if you want to connect with fellow LiSAcos. If you'd like to check out my curated Spotify playlist going through LiSA's full discography, there'll be a link in the description. Otherwise, thanks for watching.